This movie was pretty good, but there was still a lot of problems with it. So guys, today's Prepper movie critique is going to be on the movie Homestead, which was released in December, or December 20th, rather, excuse me, of 2024. Now, I don't think there's any other movies called Homestead, but this movie was pretty interesting, and it was also okay. It wasn't the greatest movie, it wasn't the worst movie. There could have been a lot of things better with the movie, but not the point. The point is we're going to talk about some of the issues with the movie and how it could have been better. So now, this movie, guys, is starring Dawn Olivieri, Neil McDonough, Bailey Chase, and Susan Misner, if I said that right. So the synopsis of the movie, and keep in mind, guys, there's going to be some spoilers in this video. So if you still want to watch the movie, don't watch this. I'm going to try to minimize the spoiling of the movie, excuse me. So, basics of the movie, guys, is a nuclear device goes off in the West Coast, a cyber attack goes off in the East Coast, and the United States falls into some kind of pandemonium. With that, people go to a homestead that's run by Neil McDonough's character. I think his name is Ian in the movie. And so, he gets his family together, a guy, ex-military guy, gets his family together, and they head up to Ian's compound, which is a prepper compound, which, first of all, was in a weird spot. The location of this compound, the location of this prepper community was weird. Maybe it was bad location, picking on the, I guess, director's part of filming, because if I would have filmed this movie, the prepper location would have been in a way remote spot. Not the point. So anyway, again, a lot of issues with this movie. Just the filming of it, the acting, guys, it's Angel Studio, so bear with it. It's not the greatest acting in the world. It's not the worst acting in the world. So, of course, guys, in the beginning of the movie, there's a nuclear detonation in California, right? Again, they don't really address the cyber attack. You do hear about it over the radio in the movie, but in the beginning of the movie, there's a nuclear explosion, right? Nuclear detonation, excuse me. With that, people start calling one another, and in the movie, they're on the phone like, hello, hey, I can't hear you. And the phone call is dropping in, picking up, sounding digitized. It's weird. I'm like, I'll call you back, and then I would have started texting. In a situation like that, guys, you're going to want to text almost immediately. Forget about phone calls. I mean, obviously, try to call it in so you can get faster information to the person. But if they're sounding choppy and broken up, start texting them before the communication system goes completely down. If there is a detonation of any kind anywhere in the United States, the phone systems, no matter who you're using, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, it doesn't matter, it's going to be jammed up with people trying to call. This is where you fall back on texting, and if you absolutely have to, email. But fall back on texting, it's going to be a lot quicker and a lot faster. There are certain apps you can use that can, I guess, go around using a phone signal, but nonetheless, you're going to want to text. You're going to want to call first. If they sound choppy, broken up, or you just can't get through, text. The time frame in the movie is very weird because there's a lot of things that happen like that. For example, raiding of the stores within the first hour or two of that event happening. Now, in California, I would get it. Elsewhere, I don't know. I think a lot of people would watch and wait before they start running to the supermarkets. Now, preppers would probably be the first ones in the supermarket. If I hear a detonation in California, I'm in my car getting anything and everything else I need to either stay here and or get my family in a car and leave New York City altogether before things get really bad. Those are the plan, right? That's the plan. The backup plan is gathering everything else and staying here. The first plan is to get everybody in the car and beat feet. Get out of New York City, because obviously this place will crumble should things get out of control. Now, within hours of this happening, gasoline already goes to $25 a gallon, which I was like, that's a bit weird that they even did that in the movie that fast. There was a military convoy at some point with Bailey Chase's character leading his guys up to the compound, Neil McDonough's compound, Ian's compound, excuse me. And they get there, and it's a convoy of his dudes. I'm like, but none of his dudes had family, which was a fucking another, like, come on, man, really? Like, Bailey Chase, the ex-Special Forces guy, is the only one with a family, and everybody else is a single man. The way this movie was written was almost as if it was written by a child. It was just real basic writing, and I don't know if they talked to a prepper because they missed a lot of prepping points, especially with a compound like that. They only had military. The military part of it was written pretty well. So whoever wrote this was definitely military oriented, but not prepper oriented. They used e-bikes in this movie to get around the compound, which makes a lot of sense because dirt bikes make too much noise, and e-bikes are getting better, faster, and stronger, so that does make sense. Now, my main issue with the movie was the compound. First of all, the location, like I said earlier, was in a bad spot. It was on a fucking hill that you can see from miles away. That was strike one. Strike two, Ian's character, or Neil McDonough's character, had no rules and or laws written in place for his compound. So people just got there and they were just like winging it as they fucking went along. I'm like, that is not how any of this shit works. You have to get all of this shit in play. You have to get everything in play. I mean, not in play, but everything planned out. Everything. And he didn't have shit planned out. There were refugees at his gate and they were worried about feeding them and not feeding them, and the turmoil of, well, if we leave them out there to die, how good are we? It was like that nonsense. The people outside his gates, they knew who he was and they knew what he had. And I'm like, that's why the movie, like right out of the, when I saw the trailer, the Homestead, I was like, bad location. That is a bad location for a prepper compound. You have your home and then you have a prepper compound. Your home could be on a fucking hill like a king. Your prepper compound needs to be deep in the woods or off-grid somewhere that takes people hours to get to. His compound, his land was in a bad area, period. So again, whoever wrote this movie, they didn't talk to preppers. And then if they did, we need to go after that prepper and put him in front of a firing squad. Not the point. Point is, guys, is that the movie was okay. Now, this movie does segue into a TV show. The TV show is on angelstudio.com. You have to be a member of the Angel Guild to watch the TV show. They give you the first episode free, and then you can pay $12 a month for basic or $20 a month for premium, whatever that is. So you can definitely watch the rest of the TV show. It's a smart tactic, if you ask me. Do a movie and then segue it into a TV show. Pretty interesting marketing tactic, if you will. Now, they go over the unprepared real quick, and they but they show you like how unprepared people behave, and of course they behave like savages. Now, my question to you, to answer in the comment section below, how far are you willing to go to protect your family? There was a scene in the movie where somebody steals a car from somebody else. They put their family in that car because their car started breaking down because it was a Tesla. Their car started breaking down, or rather, it ran out of battery power, and they couldn't get any gas, so they stole somebody else's car, leaving that guy stranded in the middle of nowhere. How far are you willing to go? Are you willing to steal from somebody? Are you willing to steal their car? Or are you willing to take their life to steal what they have? Answer your answer in the comments section. Other than that, guys, Homestead was an okay movie. It was entertaining. Should you go to the movies and see it? No. Wait till it comes out on Netflix or some shit. It'll be a great home Netflix movie, but not to go out to the theater and see it. In fact, how unpopular it was here in the East Coast was I was the only person in the theater. Keep in mind, it was also 9:15 in the morning. Nonetheless, I was still the only guy in the theater, and it seemed like every show I looked at for the next couple of days, between the 9 and 11, there was barely anybody in the theaters. So, again, this movie is more of wait till it comes out on TV and see it at home. Basis of the movie, guys, is have a plan. It seemed like everybody, even people who were ready to rock and roll, who had prepper gear, they didn't have a plan. The unprepared definitely didn't have a plan. Have a plan. Now, I'm going to talk about the TV shows in the next couple of prepper critiques, but as of right now, we're just talking about the movie today. I will have another prepper movie critique or prepper TV series critique for the Homestead TV series. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.